Okay, I'm preparing you for your March test. This is grade 11 mathematics. It's not paper 1 or even paper 2. Why? Because your term 1 work, it's all about whatever you did for that term. So, term 1, by looking at the ATP, there's a little bit of trigonometry. There's also, I saw something about my exponents and equations. So just like this question paper is structured, you have question 1 containing algebra, only equations, and you have question 2. Question 2 is a little bit of my exponents and nature of the roots, as well as my equations. Then it continues nature of the roots again. Then it ends like question 3 with the trigonometry. Okay, so it's a 3 question paper. It's a 3 question past paper. This question paper in the 3 are my questions. So it's a very short one. I'm gonna try to answer the entire paper in one go. Okay, so let's start with question 1. Let's start with question 1. It's all about the algebra again. Alright, so we have the 1.1 x 5x plus 2 equal to 0. Alright, so kubona cases like this: 5x squared plus 2x equal to 0. Then somebody does this. Trust me, I've seen this so many times, marking on my answer books for my students. I've seen this so many times. Yes, the answer is izoba correct. However, this is a lazy way of, these are lazy habits of thinking. Lazy habits of thinking. There's nothing wrong with kuyenza that way. But look at the mark allocation. It's 2 marks. It's 2 marks. It's 2 marks. Okay. So this is a 0 factor law. No, there's no need for you to distribute the x inside the bracket. It's a 0 factor law. I have 2 numbers multiplying each other and giving an answer that is equal to 0. The best course of action, Lana, is to take x equate to 0 and say or 5x plus 2 equal to 0. 2 numbers that are multiplying each other and giving an answer that is 0. One of the 2 numbers that are multiplying each other, one of them is 0. So utata this one, we equate it to 0. The other one, uti or equal to 0. 0 factor law. You should know this stuff. Ne? Therefore, you make x the subject of the formula for the second bracket. Uthola minus 2 over 5. These are the solutions or the roots for 1.1. 1.2. The 1.2, x 2x minus 3 equal to 4. Correct to 2 decimal places. This is a quadratic equation, just like the above case. This one is also a quadratic equation. This is also a quadratic equation. Now, I like 1.2 because it's going to be a teaching moment when compared to 1.1. Look, 1.2, it's almost structured the same way as the first question. I have x. Even on the previous one, I have x outside the bracket. I have a bracket multiplying with that x equal to 4 this time. Previously, it was equal to 0. Okay. If you have a number On the other side of the equation, whenever you have two numbers that are two numbers that are multiplying each other, or two expressions that are multiplying each other, equal to a number on the right hand side, this time around you have to distribute the x and write the equation in standard form. If you have a 0, there's no need for you to multiply with the x. You only multiply if there's a number other than 0 on the other side of the equation. This is what I'm talking about. The x should be multiplied inside the bracket. Then go about 3x equal to 4. Then we'll let 4 on the other side. 3x minus 4. You need to write your equation in standard form. Then you take out your ABCs. 2b minus 3c minus 4. This, it's telling us with the answer also taller, it's gonna come out as a irrational number. It's gonna come out as an irrational number. So the factoring method, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. There's only two methods that are gonna work: the completion of the square as well as the quadratic formula. So now you have no choice but to rely on those two methods, but for this case I'm gonna use the quadratic equation. Squared for AC, everything divided by 2a, x equal to minus, then what is bu? Minus 3 plus minus 3 squared minus 4, then au 2, and the c, it's minus 4. Divide everything by 2, or au2, x is equal to spangen. Right, 3 now, negative 3 now times another 3, go about positive 3. What the plus minus, but we're gonna start with the plus. City negative 3 squared, city minus 4, city 2, city negative 4, then city 2 times 2. Then the first solution is going to be 2,35, or x equal to, remember, say round off to 2 decimal places. Yeah, two decimal places. Then we have minus 0,85. Okay, simple enough. I hope you are ibona le thing ibona. I hope you are ibona le thing ibona. That the question had no problems whatsoever. It was just a free grab of marks. Minus x minus 6 greater or equal to 6. Greater or equal to 6. We bring this 6 over to the other side first. Minus x minus 6 greater or equal to 0. Then we have x squared minus x minus 12 greater or equal to 0. Alright, then we're gonna rely on the factoring method. Okay, there's nothing stopping you from using the quadratic equation. Ungayisebenzisa nala, masabi. Then city 4, city 3, right? I'm looking for two numbers. When multiplied, they give me that negative 12. Same numbers when added, they give me that negative 1. So it's definitely a 4 and a 3. It's gonna be a minus 4 and a plus 3. Remember, the negative 1 between the 4 and the 3, the 4 should carry the sign of the middle term. So hence I'm saying 4 must be negative. Negative 4 times 3, that's negative 12. Negative 4 plus 3, yeah, it's correct. Then you take out your, or work out your critical values again. So you're gonna take the x plus 3 equal to 0, or x minus 4 equal to 0. We make x the subject. It's 4x, besu means the subject now tolu minus 3. Naso x minus 3, x equal to 4. These are the critical values again, right? Not the solutions, but the critical values. Then we prepare a number line la, but I'm gonna be using a graphical method for this one. So these are the roots to a parabola, right? A smiling parabola, because the a value is bigger than 1. I'm gonna have a smiling parabola. Hence the a if the a was less than 0, meaning that it's negative, we're gonna have a sad graph like this. Okay, but with a quadratic inequality equation, make sure that your a stays positive. It's gonna make your life a bit easier, right? Because we ask with now you plot your graph, your function is always gonna smile like this. And then on this side uno minus 3, and then lana uno bani uno 4. Okay, you have a negative 3 and the 4. We have a plotter like you would do with a parabola function. Okay, so after plotting your parabola, then you need to decide or work out roots wako, your set of solutions. Now the inequality sign says greater or equal to. So if you have a greater sign, it means that your solutions are above this x-axis. My solutions are gonna be found just above the x-axis. If the inequality sign ever now it was less than or equal to, it means that my solution was gonna be below the x-axis. Then my solutions were gonna be between negative 3 and 4. But that's not the case. That's not the case. The case is that my solutions were above the x-axis. So it means that x is going to be greater or equal to 4. My solutions are to the right of 4. Or x is less than or equal to negative 3, to the left of negative 3. So these are the solutions for my quadratic equation. And another thing, the greater or equal to sign, sometimes if they demand you like they insist that you show your solution on a number line, right? So draw my circles because this also counts towards my marks work. So we're gonna do this. So whenever you plot my critical solutions work, you create or draw my circles. So the greater or equal to, the equal sign means that this solution is included. This solution is also included. A greater or equal sign, it means that the solutions are included. Now, if it was greater without the equal sign, you leave ama circles wako unshaded, right? Unshaded. But what I've realized, in many cases, the graph thing, they don't mark. They only mark ama solutions as well as the standardization of the equation, meaning making it a standard form like this. It's also a mark. It's also a mark. How many marks? 4 marks. Yeah. Standardization, critical values, as well as our solutions work. So that's 4 marks. Okay. But I'm just explaining the greater or equal sign. It means that your circle is closed. Greater sign, it means that it's open. Without the equal sign, you just leave the circles open. Okay. Sharp. Siyahamba ke manje. Siyabangena. 1.4. So that inequality sign discussion, it's something you learned at grade 10. Bakhuluma ngama interval notations, inequalities. You had to plot ama solutions wako ku number line. So that is where that thing is coming from. Let your closed circle and open circle. Alright, so this is a exponential equation solving for x. X happens to be an exponent in one of these in all of these powers on the left hand side. So it's an exponential equation. First thing, we're gonna break this first power, we're gonna break the second power. This one, there's nothing to break, so I'm gonna do this: x 2 plus 2x minus 2, no, not minus, but multiplied by 2 minus 2 plus 2x equal to 42. Okay, then after breaking the 2 raised to exponent x, the 2 raised to exponent x, and the 2 raised to exponent x, that is your common factor. You take it out, you pull it out. 2 raised to exponent x, what I'm left with, it's 2 raised to exponent 2, this, plus 2 minus 2, this, plus 1. Lana kusala u1 after taking out the 2 raised to exponent x as a common factor, equal to 42. Then we're going to 2 raised to exponent x, 4 plus 1 over 4. Okay, we want to make this exponent a positive, so applying an exponential law, I'm actually getting 1 over 2 raised to exponent 2, and 2 raised to exponent 2, I know that it's 4, plus 1 equal to 42. That's 16, 17, 17, okay, no, that means 4 plus 1 over 4 plus 1, yes, yes, 16, 17, 70, yeah, 21, it's 21, so it's x, then it's going to be a 21 over 4 equal to 42. Alright, abanye bazofuna ukwenza so, but that's divided by 21 over 4. Okay, that's cool, no problem. Again, Zalo, this cancels this. 2 raised to exponent x is equal to then you take the 42, we divide it by a 21 over 4, then you end up with 8. Therefore the 8, so we rewrite as a power with a prime base. It's 2 raised to exponent 3. Drop out x, we drop in with 3. The 2 and the 2, they cancel. You are now left with x being equal to 3, which is the solution of this equation. Now for the last one, for the last equation, 1.5. 1.5 is a sad equation. It's a sad equation. Sad equation, yes, sad equation. Yebo, sad equation, yes, sad equation. Okay, kumele ngithole i-piano beat ngishaye i-track enzima kabi ikhuluma ngama-sad equation. Sad equation, yeah, siyabangena. Haha, okay, bona ke. Now with a sad equation, the first thing we do is remove the square root, right? The 2 cancels out that square root, the squared cancels out that square root. Therefore, so you're going to 4x minus 11 equal to then we're going to create 2 brackets and FOIL them out. 4x minus 11 sibano 4 sibano minus 2x sibano minus 2x sibano plus x squared sibano 4x minus 11 equal to 4. Sengibhala nama lyrics leso sikhathi, yebo. Hayi nanga uyakhona ukushaya ama beats Skoko, hit me in the comment section, asikhulume sishaye album yonyaka lapho. 4x plus x squared, yeah, okay, then it's gonna be 0 x squared minus 4x plus 4. I took this, I rearrange ngaqala the highest power and then wrote the rest of it in descending order in terms of our powers. Okay, then I transpose this 4 about negative 4 nakafika ngapha, nga transpose this 11 wafika ngapha about plus 11. x 0 equals to x squared minus 8x plus 15. Plus 15. Fascinating. Oh, okay. 0 equal to, I think for this one, the best course of action would be, the best course of action would be to go about the factorizing route. The factorizing route. Uzobona, maybe, let me say, with simultaneous equations, sad equations, uzothi now simplify. The moment you get to a quadratic form, the moment you get to the quadratic form, equations wakhona, they are factorizable, right? Meaning that you can solve without using a quadratic formula. So njengalana ke, hence I'm saying I'm gonna factorize this thing instead of using the quadratic formula. Then it's gonna be a 5 and a 3. Same principle. Ufuna 2 as numbers. Now mouse multiplies plus 15. Now is add as minus 8. Therefore, we're gonna have a minus 5 and a minus 3. The 15 is positive, so it means that I can make them negative. I should make them negative because the middle term is negative. Alright? Therefore, my x becomes 3 or my x becomes 5. Ngitheni, we are dealing with a sad equation. With a sad equation, what you need to do the moment uthola x wakho ama x values wakho, you need to go back to the original equation and test ama solutions wakho, meaning that where there's x you need to substitute and check if the right hand side is equal to the left hand side. Right, you start with 3 substitute la. After substituting uthole answer, take the same 3 substitute ngapha right hand side and check ukuthi the left is equal to the right hand side. If they are equal, it means that x equal to 3 is a solution. You do the same thing with 5. If the left is the same as the right hand side, you have a solution. Your 5 is actually a solution. So I did do the testing. Angeke ngiyenze nani, uzozenzela wena. Ngeke ngiyenze nani. Okay, so you're gonna do the testing. I did test. X equal to 3 is a solution. X equal to 5 is also a solution. It's also a solution. Say maybe for instance, you substitute on the left hand side ngathola 3. I'm making an example. Then on the right hand side, I did solve ngathola mhlambe equal to 1. Do you see that? Do you see the problem? Actually 3 is not equal to 1, so it means that x equal to 5 is not a solution. If that was the case, that is question 1 on AMA equation. So I'm gonna stop here. Siyahamba siya ku question 2. I think hide la. Let's take a look at the question 2 again now. So question 2 is an interesting case. Yeah, very crazy case. 2.1. Ayathusa lama problem aso. Nawuyibheka nje ngathi ungafaint. Bona 7 square root 7 2011 square root 7 2009 divided by square root of 7 2008 plus the square root of 7. Yo baba. Ngisho ne calculator ikhona ukukhipha isolution yalento le. Ngizamile kaningi futhi. Kaningi. Nangaba uhlanye by now. If le betha ayihlanyisi by now, angazi ukuthi uyohlanya nini ke wena. Mina I'm crazy manje. I'm very crazy. In driver crazy le match. Asibone ke la. Asibone. Bona ke. Check. check out. This is 2007. This is 2009. This is 2011. There's a problem la. The problem is the big exponents. The big exponents like 2008, 2011, and 2009. When you come across such problems, you need to check which power has the lowest exponent out of the big exponents. I can see that 2008 is the lowest exponent. Yeah? So after identifying the lowest exponent or the smallest exponent, therefore for the rest of the powers with the highest exponents, kwamele uwabreake in such a way that they give you a product of a power with an exponent of the lowest exponent out of all the powers. Okay, I think that's a mouthful and it's packed. Let's say statements are packed. Let me show you. Let me just explain by showing. Bon, this 2011, we're gonna break as a product of two powers. I'm gonna break it to 2008 and 7 raised to exponent 3. I wanna break the big exponents to a product of powers with one of those powers having an exponent of 2008, which is the smallest exponent, minus square root of 2009. The 2009 ngam breaker as 2008 multiplied by 7 raised to exponent 1 divided by the square root of 7 2008. Now 2011 I could have rewritten as 2011 equal to 2010 multiplied by 7 raised to exponent 1. Now, when multiplying it, it takes me back to 2011. Even on 2008 multiplied by 7 raised to exponent 3, it takes me back to 2011 as well. It takes me back to 2011. But ngifuna ukuthi labo 2008 bavele even on those bigger exponents. That's the idea. That's the idea. You are actually guided by the smallest exponent in that expression. Uzowathola ama problems afana nalawo. Trust me. You'll find them. You'll find them. Take this that principle and run with it. Okay? Qhubeke nayo nje. All right. Therefore, I'm not only dealing with my exponents, I'm also dealing with my surds. So I'm done figuring out the exponents part. Now let's work or deal with my surds weight. So this I'm gonna break into 7 raised to exponent 2008 multiplied by the square root of 7 raised to exponent 3 minus the square root of 7 raised to exponent 2008 multiplied by square root 7 divided by 7 raised to exponent 2008 plus the square root of 7 squared. Right? So this idea of ukuhlukanisa lama square roots, it's coming from this surd principle yokuthi I have a square root of AB. The square root of AB is going to be equivalent to the square root of A multiplied by the square root of B. Multiplied by the square root of B equal to, alright? So after breaking and separating our square roots wakho, you can see that with square root 7, square root 7 2008 and square root 7 raised to exponent 2008 is now a common factor. We take it out. We take it out. 7 square root 7 raised to exponent 2008 square root 7 minus the square root of 7 being 3 minus the square root of 7 close bracket divided by the square root of 7 raised to exponent 2008 plus the square root of 7 squared. Then this gets cancelled by that. Alright, kahle kahle thina sihlakaniphe ukudlula ama-calculator man. Bona we are solving it baba, we are solving it. Calculate ihlulekile leso sikhathi. Dom gop le nto le. Dom. Then sisala naloku ke. Okay, so okay, I was thinking of changing this to that, to 7 3 over 2, then in multiply. Then I realized something with most of 2 you cancel that square root, then you sala no 7 raised to exponent 3. Most that's 3 4 3, but let me double check. 7 raised to exponent 3, yeah, it's 3 4 3. That's the answer for 2.1. Ne? 4 marks. Siyarojwa la. Siyarojwa. Daylight robber really. 4 marks for Spanish ngaga. Alright, 2.2 is in a simultaneous equation. Y equal to 3. This is my equation 1. And an x squared plus 5xy plus y squared equal to 15, equation number 2. Yabona, if you have been watching our recording swam for quite a while now, simultaneous nangicala ngikhuluma nge-simultaneous equation komele uskipe komele uyimaster this thing, komele uyimaster. Uyabona ku-algebra your simultaneous equation, your quadratic equation, so question 1 wakho komele udopa ama-marks lapha, dopa ama-marks lawa. It's easy marks as well, okay, easy marks. So equation 1, equation 2, nanoma uskipile it's fine, ngizokhuluma nge-1. But anyway, equation 1 and equation 2, we need to generate a third equation, so we substitute into the other equation. Okay, so take the first equation and make y the subject of the formula. Don't make x the subject. You can, but avoid creating an equation with fractions. If the situation doesn't allow, it's fine, just roll with it, né? But lana, we are lucky. Our y has a coefficient of 1. That is why I'm saying make y the subject. Okay, so we're gonna take with 3 transpose to the left, take y transpose to the right. Therefore, we're going to end up with a situation like this. 2x minus 3 equal to y. This is my equation 3. Ubuya uplo equation 3, ubuya ku equation number 1. Okay? So, you're going to take the equation 3, and substitute it into equation number 2. Why not equation 1? No, you cannot substitute 3 into equation 1. Ngabu 3 ubuya ku equation 1. If you try to do that, uzothola 0. You cancel another thing. Okay, we substitute 3 into equation number 2, because number 2 azange simthinte. Okay, so we're gonna say x squared plus 5x. Why does y substitute out 2x minus 3? 2x minus 3 plus, therefore we have y, another y, we substitute again 2x minus 3 squared equal to 0. Then we have x squared plus, we distribute this total out 10x squared, now minus 15x plus 4x squared multiplies 12 minus 6 times 2, it's negative 12 x plus 9 equal to, of course, your number brackets out to like 2x minus 3, 2x minus 3. Then we are foiler. You're gonna end up with something like this. Okay, steering you solve it like this. Yeah, but now we steering, we charging up. All right. Then this and this gives us 15x squared. Okay, sananda minus 27x plus 9 equal to 0. Okay, lena if factorizing yakbalel, go straight to using a quadratic equation. I'm thinking 3, I'm thinking 5 la. I'm thinking 5. Then there's a 27. 27, I'm thinking 3, I'm thinking 3 again. So that's 9, that's 15. 9 plus 15. Yeah. Okay, what is 15 plus 3? What is 15? Okay, yang shaya nam. Oh, it's okay. 9. No, I hlangan. Is this 27 then? Yeah. 15. Yeah, yang shaya. Should answer steering for this one. Is that a 9? Yes, it is a 9. Wena. Okay. Okay. Yaiboni blunder. I see the blunder now. I see the blunder. It's not 0, it's 15 la. Yabon? Yapapa nje. Lo komele kusuke ke lo. Yes, komele kusuke lo. I need to fix this. It's actually 15 la. Now 15. 0 would be tata, I don't know. Then it's gonna be minus 15. Then we work everything out. Lo konje kusnikeze 15x squared. Then go about minus 27x. Go about 9 minus 15. Minus 6. Minus 6 equal to 0. Equals to 0. Okay, let's see. 5. Yes. Hola. Ngibambile. Yeah, yenza sense manje. Yenza sense. La kuyoba 5 la. Lana it's gonna be 5x. Then lana it's gonna be 3x. Gonna be 6. It's gonna be 1. So that -5 times wena, I'm getting 30x. Wena times wena, I'm getting 3x. So I can subtract the 2 and get 27x. So since the 27x is negative, it means that the 6 must be negative. So that now multiply 5x now 6 in total negative 30x. Multiplying this and this should be positive, so that we get that subtraction and get to minus 27. So now it's gonna be a plus. Okay, it's gonna be a plus. All right, this is not gonna be a lesson on factorization. Now if you share this one, quadratic formula. Okay, quadratic formula. 5x plus 1 is equal to 0, or 3x minus 6 is equal to 0. Then x yoba 6 over 3, which is 2. Then x wala it's gonna be minus 1 over 5. Done. No, not done. I have about x values bar. I need to calculate my y values using the third equation. So I'm gonna take this x, substitute into the third equation, and work out y. 2 minus 1 over 5 minus 3. I'm getting y I'm getting y that is equal to minus 17 over 5. Then we do the same thing, we do 2, then I'm getting y that is equal to 1. So that is how we solve our quadratic equation. Not quadratic, but our simultaneous equation. Whoa, young devastator. Okay, so 2.3.1. Discuss the nature of the roots of the following graphs. All right. What is a root? Let me ask that question maybe. What is a root? Yini i-root? Yini i-root? Yini i-root? Izimpande. Iloko kuvela ngaphansi kwe-plant. Ama-roots lawo. Bona, a root, uma uyibheke, like a root is actually a solution to a equation. That solution uyibona kanjani ku-graph? A root uyibona ngama x-intercepts. Ngama x-intercepts. If uthatha ukubheka this parabola, it doesn't have ama x-intercepts. So, discussing the nature of the roots la. So what do we say, Konje? We say non-real. Or let's say no roots. The roots are non-real. They exist, but they are non-real. Why? It's because of the discriminant is less than 0. That is why they exist, because of the discriminant for this equation or this function governing this parabola is less than 0. All right. Now we have this. Let's proceed to the next part of the question. Now, sinalogu. We have this. Again, we are still discussing the nature of the roots for this function. So the nature of the roots are gonna be real and rational. They are real and rational. Real and rational, but at the same time, its discriminant is gonna be equal to 0, because this parabola, it only shows one x-intercept, and if you have one x-intercept or one root, your discriminant is going to be equal to 0. So there's actually a table explaining this entire thing. I think every textbook has one. Now open a textbook, you should have this, you should see this, this thing, nature of the roots. Let's wrap it up with 2.4 for question 2. So 2.4, the solution of a quadratic equation is given by determine the value of k for which these x values will be rational, and they're gonna be real, of course, né? Rational and real, they're gonna be real. Okay, in order for our x values or our roots to be rational, your discriminant must be greater or equal to 0. Must be greater or equal to 0. Don't forget, Pella, a discriminant, it's that b squared minus 4ac, not x, 4ac, which is normally found under the square root of a quadratic equation. This resembles a quadratic equation. I'm gonna go plus minus. I can see by that plus minus sign. Now the b squared minus 4ac, it's underneath the square root. So our discriminant now, it's 13 minus 2k greater or equal to 0. So we're gonna solve for k. It's gonna be 2k transposer umzalwane ezengapha, udivide ngo minus 2 zicancele, then go about k. You change the direction because you divided by a negative value, then you're gonna end up with 13 over 2. Voila. Siyabonga question 2, siyaku 3 manje. No, no, no. You served your purpose. More especially when 2.1 anyeke ngikuxolele ungidevastatile sa. Yeah. Asikhulume ngo question 3. The last question, it's a trigonometry. Okay? It's all about the trigonometry. 3.1. Asmosh isikhathi. Straight ku 3.1. 3.1. You know, I think I said this before. Trigonometry, Euclidean geometry, those are the most challenging topics. Meaning challenge, but it does challenge my students. I don't know why. I don't understand why. If you know why in challenge agangaga this topic, just let me know in the comment section. Just let me know. Maybe I'll do something about it. Yavan? I'll do something about it. I'll do something about it. Something's on lawyer nibe right, Yavan? Who knows? Tan theta is equal to minus 2 over 3. If tan theta is equal to minus 2 over 3 and sine theta is greater than 0, calculate using a sketch the value of cos theta multiplied by sine theta. Okay, with these types of problems, what are we doing? We need to prepare a sketch and make sure ukuthi sine x value, sine y value, we also have the r value. Okay, we need our x, y, r. All right. So under the Cartesian plane, we know that tan theta is always calculated by taking the opposite side, we divide it by the adjacent side, which is y over r. So katoa. All right. So this is me preparing a sketch. I think it's letting up. Hi, balang up. Yeah, sharp. Okay, cool. Now, let's understand, or we need to figure out the triangle. The triangle we're going to use to apply the SOHCAHTOA is about which quadrant. We are looking for that quadrant where sine is positive. And where tan is negative. Is it the first? Is it the second? Is it the third? Is it the fourth quadrant? Take a guess. I know. You know. It's definitely the second quadrant. So in the second quadrant, we're going to have our triangle like this. Then x is equal to negative 2. And then y is equal to 3. Okay? It's negative 2 because, the tan is negative. Low negative, we are good 3 or we are good 2. Definitely it's going to go to 2 if the triangle exists in the second quadrant. This is negative, this is positive x. This is positive y, this is negative y. Okay, so hence the negative I'm giving it to 2 instead of 3. Now, sishota ngobani ngo r. That's the whole point of drawing a triangle yakho, so that wazi ukuthi ushota ngobani, right? You need your x, y, r before you can answer any question. Let's calculate r. We're going to use Pythagoras. R is equal to x squared plus y squared. R is equal to the square root of x minus 2 squared plus y 3 squared. Okay, R is equal to the square root of 4 plus 9. Add lapho thola ngaki 13. I'm getting with 13. I have r ke manje. Now I have abu x r bami, x y r. I can now calculate cos theta multiplied by sine theta. Let's go ahead and do that. It's got to be adjacent divided by the hypotenuse. SOHCAHTOA. So katoa, and then it's opposite over hypotenuse. What is x? Minus 2. What is the hypotenuse? That's going to be the square root 13 as you calculate it. Multiplied by, what is y? 3. What is r? So calculate the square root 13 equal to this 3 multiplied that negative 2 gives us a minus 6. The square root 13 multiplied by the square root 13, it's going to be 13. That's the value for cos theta multiplied by sine theta. Okay. Siyabangena. Yabona nangaphusha ikhemi lami kahle. Nani ngangitshela ukuthi ngihlupha yini la ku trigonometry, ngizophusha ikhemi kahle. Nangiliphusha kahle likhemi ngizosharela sona la ku trigonometry. I promise you. Alright, so lana we are simplifying to a single trigonometric ratio. Alright, I discuss na someone this expression, but that person went through the memorandum first before a discussion yam nine. So I solve. Once we got to the solution, waba like wrong le answer yam. Not wrong jan. But I memorandum iti ile value le. Not whoa. Jam. Wait. Pause mzalona. Pause. Uthini? What ya? I wrong le nto yakho ibhalile. Ay ngathi when we are cooler when. No. Okay. What I'm trying to say with the ama memorandums, they're not always correct. They do make mistakes. Ne? They do make mistakes. So I check that concern yakhe, then I was like, oh, okay, they made a mistake somewhere la. Ne? I'm gonna address it in case mhlambe you are watching this video and you have the memorandum on the side. Ne? Ufuna ukungiphikisa but awukhona at that moment uyibona nawe leyo mistake uba like ngifuna ukumphikisa but angikhona ukumphikisa ngoba this is a recording. I'm gonna clear that up. And then we're gonna simplify this. So we have a reduction formula. So for that sine 360 minus x, that's a reduction formula found in the fourth quadrant. In the fourth quadrant to sign or negative. So we're gonna have a minus sine x multiplied by alright, there's two ways of explaining a simplification, but the best course of action would be to say you come across a negative angle at our 360, so the tan negative x is gonna be 360 minus x. You find or you come across a negative angle at our 360 to it. We don't work with our negative angles like with trigonometry. Hence, we are saying add to 360 so that we can simplify that negative angle into a positive one. Then we have cos 180 plus x. 180 plus x, it's in the third quadrant. In the third quadrant, cos negative multiplied by sine squared a plus cos squared a. This is an identity. It's equal to 1. Equal to. We continue. I think it would be wise for one to say low positive, low negative, low negative divided, they give us a positive. So we're gonna end up with the positive sine x multiplied by tan 360 minus x. That's in the fourth quadrant, and in the fourth quadrant tan is negative. Then we have cos, not sine. We then have cos x. Now, the problem is figure ibela problem. I think the memo said something about changing that tan into cos x, then dividing, then go cos x la. Then I don't know what happened. Then I cancel something, and then I don't recall what happened, but it was something about sine or cos x or something like that, no. Enhle ke iyanghetha lento le, iyanghetha, not today, isanghetha lento le. Equal to, now asidile nayo professional ke, ne? Not lento lapha ku memorandum. Look, usine x uma umdivide no cos x, we are getting what? Tan x, isn't it? This is an identity. Sine over cos, it's tan, multiplied by minus tan x. Multiplier, uyothola u tan squared x, or negative. This is your final answer. Not 2x, but tan squared x. Tan squared x negative. This is your answer. Now, le lapha ku memorandum, no. No. And if you do it like this, you're gonna end up even complicating the whole situation, because you're gonna have to do up tip and times lo sine now multiply na lo sine. It was supposed to be dealt with ngaleyo ndlela le. Tata lo sine times analo sine, total sine squared, and then everything being divided by a cos squared. But eventually you'll figure it out. No, I'm ending up here. So this is the best course of action. That's 3.2. I say with 3.3, the last question, good question 3, as well as the last question, the question paper. It's an identity. You can actually work with the right hand side or even the left hand side, but Mina, I feel like the left hand side is the obvious one, because of tan. That tan can actually be changed to its identity. Now sevenza nama identity. You see tan, you change that thing. So we change it to sine theta over cos theta minus cos theta over sine theta. Alright, so sesilana again, we're gonna employ the butterfly method for this one. So sine times no sine, uthola sine theta. Sine squared theta. Sine, come on, Ben. Sine squared theta minus le, we times another le, uthola minus cos squared pen. Pen. Squared theta divided by, then you come back and multiply cos wako no sine wako. Then you're gonna have a cos theta, or let me just write it like the thing on the right hand side. You're gonna have sine theta multiplied by cos theta. Okay, therefore I can see that almost on the numerator on the right hand side there's only a cos, not a sine. So I'm gonna change the sine into its identity. Now the cos squared, theta uthi plus sine squared theta uthola u1 ukuhlanganisa, right? But let's make sine squared theta the subject la. 1 minus cos squared theta. So I just transposed the cos over to the right hand side. So that sine squared is an identity. It's the subject of the formula. So lana I'm gonna say 1, or perhaps let me use white. 1 minus cos squared theta, it's equivalent to that, minus cos squared theta, everything divided by sine theta multiplied by cos theta. Then it's 1 minus 2 cos squared theta divided by sine theta cos theta. This is the final answer. Yeah. Angisa record my question papers like this. Aye, sengikhathele, lo wami womile, ngilambile. Aye, cool. This is not make sure. This is not make sure. Okay, thanks for tuning in, guys. We enjoy it. Leave a like. I enjoy also leave a like. When a question asikhulume in the comment section. Akhohle ukusharela umngane wakho. Uyayidinga le conversation. Uyayidinga. Blind. More than you think. Asibonane on the next recording. Bye bye.